everybody, and welcome to another edition of Shushoku Café. My name is Kasia. I am the founder of Ikigai Connections, and I run the job board called Nihongo Jobs. And here is my collaborative partner, Takeshi-san. Dozo.
Hi, everybody. This is Takeshi of Quick USA. I'm a senior manager of a Japanese recruiting company. I support all of Japan-related community in here, and it's very nice to meeting you today.
Yes, so today's topic is something that maybe not many people understand how important it is, and we'd love to highlight how cultural understanding of differences in business workings and how you do business between the US and Japan, what it's all about. And we have a very special guest today, Saskia Rock. So go ahead, Saskia. If you could please give your introduction about your experience and where you've lived and worked.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Kasia and Takeshi, for having me today. I'm very happy to be here. So, Saskia, I know is an unusual name in the United States. I'll just give away. I'm originally from Europe, so I was born in Belgium, and then I decided to study Japanese. And after graduating from university, I went to Japan. I worked in Japan with the JET program actually originally. Then I went back to Europe, and then about 15 years ago, I decided I wanted to live in Japan permanently. So I went back to Japan. I did my MBA with Globus. You'll see another episode of Shushoku Café with Globus, actually, how to do that. And when I graduated from Globus, I started working at one of the big four consulting companies in Tokyo. So why am I now in the United States? It's because I married a Japanese man. Now, people are like, how did that happen? Well, so my husband, Makoto, actually studied in the United States. So he's a software developer. And we came to California, San Francisco, Silicon Valley because of his job. So I've now been in the States for about 8 years. So I learned about doing business here in the United States, combining that with my knowledge about doing HR and business back in Japan, and also, of course, my European experience. I use that at Japan Consulting Office and at my own company as well to help people work better together.
All right. Thank you so much. Nice meeting, Saskia. I have so many questions I want to ask. But first of all, this is like most of the question which we ask always from all the audiences. I want to ask for Saskia and Kasia both. I think you both had experiences working in US and you're working in Japan, and we have a chances to learn about the culture, like pop culture, those differences. Yes, we know, but there's not many information about in the business world. What kind of the business culture differences between US and in Japan? So I want to ask both of you, what's going to be the maybe pop culture differences you notice between US and Japan? So maybe first, Saskia-san, please.
Sure. So what I noticed is, things in the US, and I think especially here in Silicon Valley, they tend to go very fast. Right? Compared to Japan, where there are lots of rules and processes, especially in more traditional companies, lots of red tape. So when the companies that I work with here in the United States, the local hires, they often get very frustrated because things are going way too slowly in Japan.
Oh, I feel that. I worked in Japan too, so I'm not good with the following the rule, and I'm like a quick person. Like, hey, let's do it. Why are you thinking? Why are you stopping? So I feel that. What about you, Kasia-san? Like, do you have any like top culture differences between US and Japan?
Yes, I think for me, the thing that sticks out the most is relationship building and how important that is in business. I think it's important globally, wherever you are, whatever culture. But in Japan, I found it was much more, and it took a long time to reach to any business decisions or any collaborations. It was just also, like, as Saskia just mentioned, it was a little bit slower. But then I realized that once you have a good relationship, once that trust is there, I just think it helps business so much, whether you are working for a big company, you're working on your own, or anywhere in between. So I found that to be really interesting.
Yeah.
That's right, because we do recruiting. So when we have like some position from the Japanese company, when they ask about the soft skill, the personality, they ask about the team minded. Like if the person is team player or if the person is individual player. Of course, depending on the position, it's different. But you're right, because a Japanese company tend to request to have some like a team player mindset or something like that. Huh. That's very interesting. And I think there's a lot more things here around about the differences. And I think there's some like courses, culture classes. You can take something like that. I think Saskia knows about some samples, right, for the classes to know the differences between Japan and US differences.
Oh, for sure. So, I work for Japan Consulting Office. Actually, I work with Kasia at Japan Consulting Office. So we offer courses, seminars to both local hires to learn about Japanese culture, but we also do them in Japanese to expats that are here in Japan who want to know more about specifically American culture and how can we work together, like maybe find a hybrid way of working so that those frustrations don't build. But what I find the most important there is, and what I see all the time is, as soon as you explain to people why some things are the way they are, they can understand and the frustration goes away. Because human beings were all about working together, about cooperating, and everybody wants to work together. So just explaining why some things are the way they are is like the first huge step forward into working together perfectly.
Yeah, I agree. It's just misunderstanding. It's nothing wrong or right. It's just different. So understanding what's their mindset, what's their culture, then those frustration is gone. And I totally agree. And I have experience. At one time, I took a course in English for the U.S. local employees to take that. It was eye-opening. Like I couldn't explain why, but in the class it's explaining why, and it was for me as well. Like it relieved my stress. Like okay, that's it. So it was very good experiences. Yeah. So now we talk about the differences, but I think of course there's kind of a similarity as well between Japan and the US. So what do you notice about the similarity between US and Japan? Maybe Saskia-san, let's go first.
Okay, similarities. So I was actually surprised. I mean, coming from Europe, and especially dealing with, Dutch and German companies while I was working in Europe, they tend to be very blunt, very open, very, yes, this is good, no, this is bad. So I was kind of expecting the same when I came to the United States, because we're low context, cultures, right? Compared to Japan, which is high context. But, and maybe it's specific to California, I don't know. I found that people are very respectful, very careful on how they talk to people, what they say. So for me, that was an eye-opener. And it actually put the US kind of in between, Japan as, very, very respectful and making sure that you don't upset people during meetings, and Europe on the other side, where people tend to be much more blunt. So that was my eye-opener about American culture.
Oh, that's interesting. I saw the same thing, like Europe and American culture might be similar, but it's a bit different. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think, Kasia? Do you see any similarity between US and Japan?
So this may be a different kind of observation, but one thing that I really noticed a lot was the culture of after work and connecting with your boss, your coworkers. So I always thought, and I experienced it myself when I lived in Japan a little bit ago. It's a little bit different now. And at that time, it was a lot of going out, with your colleagues to go to an izakaya or a place to grab a quick bite to eat on your way home. So for a time, there was this impression that everybody did it, everybody went out, they were always out late, which may have been true at some point. But I'm finding that over the last, 10, 20 years, I hear the honne, the actual like inner thoughts of a lot of people who tell me that the thing that they say nomunication, which is a combination of nomu, which means to drink, and communication, nomunication, is actually not as popular as it used to be or as frequent as it used to be. So the similarity I see is what's happening in Japan currently and for the last 10-ish years, I think, is that it's a lot of, hey, I would like my own time. I want to go home and have my own like work-life balance. So in general, the work-life balance, I believe, has come to the forefront a little bit, that may it's every day with their colleagues, but just go home and take a nap, be with their family. And so I think that that's coming up. It was secretly hidden, but now it's getting more to the forefront. And I find that really interesting from a societal perspective.
Yeah, you're right. Like, even now, I don't want to go for communication a lot. I give that, I understand it's important to be connected and to be communication. And that's also similarity too. I was surprised when I came here in US. I saw there's nothing like a communication in the US, but there's more company event in here in US. It's like a more luncheon, like some after hour, like a quick drink, something like that. It's not like long like Japan, like all night drinking something like that. Not that much, but there's more company event in here in US than Japan. That's what I saw. So I think both in US and Japan, they give the importance about the communication between the employees, not only for the job or project, but casual communication, giving the importance. Yeah, I agree.
Maybe I can quickly say something here. When I was working in HR in Tokyo, we actually tried to have teams do their communication or no communication during lunchtime so that everybody could join. And that was getting very popular, actually. So because people are like, yeah, I mean, I have to pick up my kids or I have to make dinner for my husband, right? Especially in HR, still a lot of female colleagues. So we just did it over lunch and people were very happy with that.
I like that. I like the lunch event. Like it's easy in 1 hour, and then if you want to talk more, then later you can ask specific one, and that's very nice. Yeah. That's right. All right. So this is kind of a tricky question for you both. So if you have like a magic word or magic wand or something like that, what kind of advices, what kind of words do you want both side Japanese expat or local employees to know about it? This is a good word to use it. Maybe Kasia-san?
Oh, so many ideas, but if it was just like one key word, is to always have an open mind, that there isn't one right way of doing something. It's what I often share with people, because if you have this open mind, or if you're curious, I think curiosity is the key word there. If you're curious, you ask questions, you learn why something happens the way they do. You could learn something that could really be applicable to your product, your service, your way of doing things, your personality, how you interact. I just think that curiosity would be a nice thing for everybody to have.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I think people tend to judge from your experiences, but if you have curiosity, like without judging it, like see, why is this? Why is this? And that's gonna salute most of us. And yeah, you're right. That's great. What about you, Saskia? Do you have any advice or any specific word?
Well, yeah, I mean, so curiosity is my number one too. So Kasia stole that one, but my number two is kindness. So just start from that. I always joke when I do the sessions that, this is the reason why I'm still married to my Japanese husband, because we misunderstand each other all the time. But, if you start from a kindness point of view and you say, I'm sure he didn't mean it that way, then, you can use the curiosity to find out why this happened. Like, why did he say this? Or why do I feel upset if he says something like that? So, and that's why, we're still married. So you can use it in any situation.
All right. That's going to be advice for myself as well, for my marriage. So kindness, okay? Be kindness. Be curious about it. Thank you so much for the advice. Okay, I want so much more questions about the cultural differences, something like that. But we're gonna leave the information in the link about Kasia-sen and Saskia-sen as well, and also about the Japan consulting office as well. And also, I think Saskia-sen, you work as independent consultant as well, right?
Yes, I do. So that my alter ego is Sasuke, HR Ninja, because Sasuke is my name, right? Saskia is my name. So I do independent HR consulting for companies as well.
Okay, gotcha. So we will leave all the information in here in the link. So please check it out. And if you have any question, please ask for those two today. Thank you so much for today for all the information. And I hope we can talk for the next topic as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.